I'm sorry. I was just talking and y'all couldn't even hear me. I'm so sorry. So I was just coming on here, just briefly. A lot of my sisters and people that I watch are live right now, so I'm not trying to keep away. I just want to put a reminding factor into everyone's brain today. Um, the the name of this is abuse did not stop. The choice of seeing it, defending it, and supporting is all that just stopped. I had to redo my thing, so I left that my word. That's all that just stopped. So I just want to. I'm not even gonna take a long time to do the stuff because there's so much going on. I didn't feel good today. And then when I came and saw all this just was going on, I was like, oh Lord, oh Lord. I came home early from work today because I just wasn't feeling it. But I just want to share this with y'all because I think we have forgot the actual thing that brought us here. Why we all ended up meeting up with each other. But I'm gonna show y'all this because abuse did not stop. Just the choices that we make and defending it, seeing it, talking about it, supporting those who need us. So peep this one out.
All right, brace yourselves for this tea. Word on the streets is that Nicki Minaj just dropped the bombshell.
Hold on, I want to before I do
All
this.
right, brace yourselves for this tea. Word on the streets is that Nicki Minaj just dropped the bombshell and filed for divorce from her hubby of 5 years, Kenneth Petty. Fans have been screaming for her to kick Kenneth to the curb for ages, and now we see why. It's allegedly because he's been getting physical with Nicki and controlling her with drugs. Looks like Nicki's finally had enough of being his puppet and taking crap from him. Not only did she file for divorce, but she also allegedly slapped him with a restraining order for the violence. Honey, grab hold of your edges because this is one wild ride. Baby, y'all won't believe the wild news that's making the rounds. Word on the street is that Nicki Minaj has secretly filed for divorce from her hubby of 5 years, Kenneth Petty. And
Okay. So what I'm saying is, y'all, if Nicki Minaj can be having divorce, I mean problems with DV and all this other kind of stuff, and we know how much she got. This has not stopped. So this little inter-circle beef that we keep having, we are wasting our time and we are wasting our voices when people that are smaller or less known than Nicki Minaj um, is being are being you know what I mean, abused or whatever. So I'm gonna let this play out just because I already brought it up. I think it's a good idea. I want to get on my nerves, y'all. When you touch it, it stops. Can I make it play back?
And hold on to your hats because it's not just any divorce. There are some serious DV allegations, and she's reportedly asking for a restraining order against him. Now, don't shoot the messenger, but fans saw this drama brewing from a mile away. It's not about Nicki, it's all about Kenneth and his past antics. When Nicki and Kenneth tied the knot, we were all thrilled for her, thinking she'd found her fairy tale and happy ending at last. Their love story seemed like something out of a romance novel. They go way back to their teenage years in Queens, New York, and they were even high school sweethearts. How cute is that? They lost touch for a while, but in 2019, they ended up getting married in a super secret ceremony. Fans only found out when Nicki dropped a surprise bomb on Instagram, showing off their Mr. and Mrs. Muggs and rocking bride and groom snapbacks. We were happy for her, but it didn't really make a lot of sense at the time. Nicki's always been loud and bold with her celebrations, so why keep her wedding hush hush? Looking back now, it kind of clicks. She probably knew fans wouldn't approve of Kenneth Petty because of his super controversial past, and she was right. Back in '95, Kenneth got into serious trouble for allegedly SAing his ex-girlfriend. He ended up doing 7 years in the slammer and was on supervised release from 2013 to 2018. The New York State folks even labeled him a level 2 offender, meaning they thought he might mess up again. It all traces back to '95 when he supposedly used weapons to coerce his ex into, well, SA. But wait, there's more. In July 2019, after moving to California post-wedding,
I've lost a couple by accident, and a couple of them would need to be cold. And now the rest of them right now.
Kenneth got arrested
what we should be fighting for is laws or something that keeps these type of people who continues to do these same things off the street, away from people. Just because a person is in stardom, as they call it, does not mean they cannot be finessed or manipulated, because we already know the type of life that Nikki came from. And when, I'm sorry to say this is not to all people, but when men or women are incarcerated, they sometimes pick out a subject or type of person, and they learn to study them and their traits, and they learn how to speak to them in the right way or say the right things to them to make that person fall for them, like very fast, to make them feel secure and safe. So that's how people that are habitual abusers or whatever, in this matter, continue to are able to continue to do this to people, no matter how strong we think that person is. Okay, so
for not registering as an offender. He had to cough up $20,000 to get out, and considering we still don't know what he does for work besides being Mr. Nicki Minaj, it's safe to say Nicki probably footed the bill. But here's the kicker: why didn't Nicki nudge him to register, knowing the risk? And as if that wasn't bad enough, a year later in 2020, it came out that he was looking at up to 10 years behind bars and a lifetime of supervised probation. Talk about a whirlwind of drama. One source claimed the problem that the courts will have is, okay, I see that, but the problem is, just because he's famous now doesn't mean he was famous when he got the charge. He wasn't famous when he was first required to register. He knows what he's supposed to do, and he didn't do it. To say that fans were shook would be an understatement. Everyone was losing their minds. I mean, the idea of the world's top rapper getting married to someone like Kenneth was just wild. The internet practically exploded with the news. There were a lot of think pieces from fans over this, like this person who said, "I wish I felt bad, but I don't. She's mean to other women, and she defended her brother at his SA trial. Then you marry this man. You're the company you keep, makes you wonder." For some context, Nicki's brother was arrested for SA-ing his stepdaughter, who was only 12 at the time. Things got even worse when, during the trial, Nicki wrote a letter.
I'm gonna rephrase that. That's just rude. She did not even take into consideration that maybe Nikki had been violated in the aspect where she feels bad for them because of the things that they say to her and tell her, which causes her to have that sympathy or that specific type of heart. We're not saying that it's right or wrong, but what I am saying is that talking like that about her is not good. She needed help within. This was that. I mean, man, this is crazy. People are so mean for no reason.
Wonder. For some context, Nicki's brother was arrested for SA-ing his stepdaughter, who was only 12 at the time. Things got even worse when, during the trial, Nicki wrote a letter defending her brother and asking the judge for leniency, even after it was proven he committed the crime. He was eventually sentenced to prison, leaving Nicki looking pretty embarrassed. So, when you think about it, it's not all that surprising she ended up with a man like Kenneth. It also didn't help that Nicki continually defended Kenneth against the internet. She wrote, "He was young, she was young, and in a relationship. But go off, internet. You can't run my life. You can't even run your own life. We love Nicki, but this is just not okay." Did she really mean it's okay to be intimate without your partner's consent just because her husband was with the victim back then? And then things really went downhill. In July 2022, Petty got hit with a year of house arrest for failing to register as an offender when he moved to Cali with Nicki in 2019. Plus, he had to pay a whopping $500,000 fine. And guess who probably footed that bill? Yep, Nicki. So instead of hitting the road and going on tour, Nicki had to stay home with her man. Nicki was pulling out all the stops to defend Kenneth, but fans weren't.
People don't even understand that during this time, Nicki was being manipulated, or as they call it, mind F. For her to do all those things and not see the wrong in them. This goes all the way back to her childhood. If her brother was charged with that, more than likely she's seen a different side of her brother, that side where they are so sorry or they didn't do it or people are doing them wrong or they're lying, and she had a heart for him because we are human. That does not mean that she's a bad person. That just means that her sympathy and empathy for people outweigh her judgment or decisions.
Weren't buying it, especially after hearing that Nikki allegedly tried to hush up her husband's victim with some cash. You can't make this stuff up. When Kenneth's ex, Jennifer, decided to take legal action, Nikki's team went into overdrive trying to silence her. They reportedly offered her hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep quiet, but Jennifer wasn't having it. She came armed with solid evidence, revealing that she'd been in touch with the U.S. Marshals, who claimed to have uncovered concrete proof about the events of 1995. Talk about drama. This made Nikki look even worse, and she got dragged for filth, with one person making a solid point saying, no matter how much you like Nikki's music, it's wrong to sweep her actions under the rug. She's literally accused victims of lying and even tried to buy their silence. You can still like her music, but you don't need a degree in morality and ethics from Harvard to understand that Nikki is in the wrong here. For once, stans need to take off their rose-colored glasses and hold their faves accountable. And as other fans have pointed out, Nikki doesn't really have an issue working with men who have been accused of SA because she had worked with a convicted offender and rapper, Tekashi 69. In October 2015, when he was 19, 6ix9ine pleaded guilty to using a 13-year-old in a performance. Nikki quickly defended him and said, I wanted him to perform with me at the VMAs. It is what it is. When I know somebody, there's nothing you can tell me about him. That's just how it is. Chili, Nikki really needs to get someone to handle her social media cause she be going off and making herself look even worse. So after Nikki tied the knot with Petty, it looked like her music game took a hit. Even though she welcomed a cute baby boy, it seemed like she pressed pause on her career to be a full-time mom and ride with Kenneth. Instead of her usual spotlight vibe, she started doing a bunch of Instagram live sessions from.
If you've ever dreamed of owning an apartment complex and you live near one of these,
this is being in the light and in the presence of people who do things wrong and only learning their side of it and not the actual victim until you are a victim. So I'm not going to say that, oh, she is just this and that. No, she was in the presence of people who were doing things wrong, just like I'm going to say, like, because this is what we're in, the saga. The people that were in Brianna's presence only saw what she was doing right, never saw anything that she was doing wrong, whereas the people that were in Robert's presence, and I don't mean physically, only saw what he was doing right, nothing that he was doing wrong. Not saying that either one were doing anything wrong. We all know the story, so I don't have to say who did what to whose dog. But you're blinded by their sad stories or you're blinded by their, I can't think of the word right now. They're basically their pity parties, so you don't see what they're doing to the other person or what they've done to the other person or what the things are that they've done wrong. So that is what Nikki is currently accused of what people on both sides of the story of the Hamptons are accused of. People on Brianna's side covered for her and didn't see anything that she was doing wrong. On Robert's side, the people from Brianna's side say that everybody didn't see anything that he was doing wrong. I said it like that because I was actually a supporter on one of the person's side. So I'm trying to stay neutral while I'm making this point. Okay.
these cities, then you've got to see the same ad that I saw.
From home. Kind of weird for Nikki, right? She's all about empowerment and chasing dreams. Then in September 2019, she dropped a bombshell about retiring from the music scene on The Shade Room and later hit up her 22.2 million Twitter fam with the news saying, I've decided to retire and have my family. I know you guys are happy now. Her fans were shook, replying with heartbroken no's and asking why she couldn't be both a mom and a rapper, but she seemed set on bowing out to have her man's back. She later
I'm going to say that is a form of manipulation. Her man did not want her out on tour without him. Anywhere that he could not be, he did not want her to be. And more than likely, he used manipulation and all these other tactics that they have, the jealous mate has, to make her feel bad about leaving him and the baby and going out to do her work, which is what she was doing when he met her. So by her being a woman and a mother, she says, okay, well, I'll bow out and I'll stay home with my family because, hey, we know how that goes. That's what's expected of a woman But, I guess, I don't know. I'm not saying it.
Later relented and deleted the tweet. She also made a new tweet where she said, "I'm still right here, still madly in love with you guys, and you know that. In hindsight, this should have been a Queen Radio discussion, and it will be. I promise you guys will be happy. No guests, just us talking about everything." The tweet was abrupt and insensitive. I apologize, babe. In a later interview with Billboard, Nicki backtracked on her retirement plans by saying, "I love music and interacting with fans, so I can't really see taking myself completely away. But I want to be open to other possibilities in my life. I do believe it is important to become a woman outside of the magnifying glass. I have to make sure that I'm well-rounded as a human being." At this point, fans started to wonder if there was more to the story because Nicki was sending mixed signals. That's when the
that last message with her saying, "I'm not retiring," that was probably her publicist or her management group getting involved and saying, you cannot just say you retire. It's not going to look good. Or her husband saying, "Hey, wait a minute, that's going to stop the money flow," when those things started hitting or whatever, I don't know. We never know. We can never tell what one story is.
speculation began that maybe she was being controlled and manipulated by Kenneth because her behavior seemed all over the place. Nicki then accused her fans of hurting her feelings by being upset when she claimed that she was retiring. She said, "I didn't know my fans would act like that with the tweet. It hurt my feelings because I feel like the way I did it was maybe insensitive to my fans. But I didn't think people were going to take it. I didn't know it was going to be that big of a deal, so that's why I deleted it." Things took a turn for the worse when Kenneth's 1995 SA victim, Jennifer Ho, spoke out, alleging that Nicki and Kenneth were harassing her and even getting their friends involved in the mix. Jennifer also revealed that she couldn't work and had to move homes due to the harassment. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, Jennifer dropped a bombshell, claiming that Nicki and Kenneth got someone named Black to offer her $20,000 to lie and say Kenneth never mistreated her, basically trying to buy her silence. Remember that detail because it's important for what comes next. So Jennifer rightly took legal action against Nicki and Kenneth because, let's be real, she didn't sign up for any of this. And let me tell you, the courtroom drama, it's next level. I've seen my fair share of celebrity scandals, but this one is off the charts. You know how these celebs can get into some wild stuff. Well, let me tell you, Nicki, Kenneth, and their legal squad really fumbled the ball by missing the deadline to respond to the lawsuit. Jennifer and her legal team saw their chance and pounced, asking the judge for a jaw-dropping $20 million default judgment. For those not in the know, a default judgment happens when one side in a lawsuit fails to respond, leaving the judge to make a call without hearing their side. Now, Jennifer was totally in her rights to go for that default judgment, but both Nicki and Kenneth were quick to file motions to squash those default judgments. And here's the kicker, Nicki and her hubby were sued separately, and they even hired separate lawyers, so they're not joined at the hip or anything. Fast forward a bit, Nicki dodged the default judgment bullet, but Kenneth wasn't so lucky. He's not taking that lying down, though. Oh no, he's fired back with a response that spilled so much tea that even I was taken aback. So what's the scoop in his comeback? You better buckle up because it's juicy. Kenneth also dropped a bombshell, claiming he struggled to find a lawyer to respond because everyone he reached out to demanded exorbitant fees, with some even asking for retainers as high as $100,000. But that's not all. Kenneth wanted to set the record straight. He clarified that he wasn't convicted of violating Jennifer in 1994, but rather of attempting to do so. He insisted that their encounter was consensual and that he only pleaded guilty because he was a scared 16-year-old who didn't know what else to do. He accused Jennifer of trying to make him look like a violator when he was never convicted of that. Furthermore, he denied ever asking anyone to threaten Jennifer. According to Kenneth, the man named Black acted on his own accord because he was friends with both him and Nicki. Kenneth claimed he never instructed Black to contact Jennifer.
I raised my son here in Las Vegas. I love seeing him raise my grandchildren. There's nothing more important to me than their
or offer her
brought up a charge for this man when he was 16 years old. So in other words, this man been attempting to take Kuda since he was oh my goodness gracious, y'all. This man been attempting to take Kuda since he was way back in his 16. Oh jeez, my Jesus. Oh,
money. He said Black, who was a mutual friend of his and Jennifer's in the past, asked for Nikki's number and then passed it along to Jennifer so she could sort things out directly with Nikki. Kenneth stressed that he never paid Black or asked him to intervene and speculated that Black might have been trying to win favor with Nikki. At this point, fans were scratching their heads, wondering what Nikki ever saw in Kenneth. I mean, could she really love him that much? He was beyond embarrassing, and this whole drama was just downright humiliating for Nikki. Imagine being at the top of the rap game, only for your husband to get caught up in a mess like this. And to top it off, her name keeps getting dragged into the mix, and she's constantly shelling out big bucks and fines, all while still standing by her man on social media. Talk about messy, but hold on to your hats because it gets even worse. Turns out,
wait, before we go to the worst part, do this sound kind of familiar? Because it's on social media, we know that it's wrong, but I feel like we don't want to be embarrassed on social media, so we keep standing down and fighting for, oh my goodness, y'all. Okay, let's carry on.
out SA wasn't the only crime Kenneth had a rap sheet for. He also pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the first degree for the death of a man named Lamont Robinson back in 2002. Originally charged with second-degree murder during the 2006 trial, he struck a plea deal that downgraded the charge. According to reports, the defendant, Kenneth Petty, shot the deceased, Lamont Robinson, with a loaded handgun multiple times, thereby causing his death. It's straight up wild. He got slapped with a 10-year sentence, but walked out after 7 in 2013, only to be on supervised release for 5 more years. So when he and Nikki started getting cozy, he was still under supervision for ending someone's life. This whole saga just keeps spiraling deeper and deeper the more we peel back the layers. Nikki defended him again, saying that she knew him better than anyone else, blah, blah, blah. She wrote, "When a person is with a ninja that loved them before they had a dime in their pocket, how do you not understand that? How do you not understand happiness versus clout? You'd think with all that history, Kenneth would do everything in his power to keep a low profile and steer clear of trouble, right? But nope. Wrong again. He went and violated his probation by threatening rapper Offset last year. Remember that viral video? It showed Kenneth and his crew outside, calling out Offset and basically saying they'd jump him if he dared to step outside. Talk about stirring up more trouble.
Offset, where you at? That's it. Gotta spin that shit. Them niggas out. There go Kanye. Know it's up, man. Know it's up, yeah. We outside. Big Zoo outside.
It got even worse when Kenneth threatened to murk Offset.
Money, man. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Huh?
You don't know
Big
niggas.
Zoo.
They said you don't know niggas.
Big Zoo. We're on that vacation.
Yeah.
We're planning your funeral, pussy.
Yeah.
We all the way to the street. Let's play.
Threatening someone is already a big no-no, but doing it while on probation, that's just begging for trouble. Predictably, folks started calling out Kenneth for stirring the pot and accused him of picking fights with Cardi B for no good reason. And of course, Nikki got pulled into the mess too. The backlash was off the charts, so much so that Kenneth felt compelled to air out private messages between him and Offset, trying to justify his actions. But man, talk about adding fuel to the fire. According to the text, Offset DM'd Kenneth a couple of days ago and asked him to pull up, saying, "Where you located? You old men and females business with no money for war. Don't post me either since you a gangsta, right? You live in Charlotte too." Kenneth replied, "I'm outside heavy, ain't hiding from no man, especially no rap man. I'm outside gangster. Shut the F up, man. You ain't even get no get back for them guys killing your people." Offset then replied, "You a grown man talking ish about a woman. You're a P." Offset also said, "You guys too old and don't be outside. And also, you can think what you think, but you broke and ain't far from me catching already. I'm not gon' say ish else to you online." Kenneth replied, "I ain't hiding, my man. Get in line." Offset clapped back, saying, "Get some money. Chili, not the broke shaming." Offset continued, "Goofiness. You men ain't standing on no business or no money. You broke, I can tell, goofy man." And Kenneth then threw a punch below the belt when he brought up Takeoff's murder, saying, "Use that money to get them men that killed your partner, my..."
This is the best tool to run a faceless YouTube channel and make extra income. It's called NVIDIA. Let me show you how to do it. First,
Gee, that's gangster.
He was trying to provoke the man. But how you gonna be on oh my God, these people is idiotic. Yeah, yo.
The back and forth continued, with both sides daring each other to pull up, and Kenneth then threw a punch below the belt when he brought up Takeoff's murder, saying, "Use that money to get them men that killed your partner, my G. That's gangster." The back and forth continued, with both sides daring each other to pull up and trading insults left and right. Then, lo and behold, Kenneth and his crew decided to take Offset up on his challenge and actually showed up. Now, we don't know the full story behind why Offset randomly slid into Kenneth's DMs or what sparked their beef, but there's speculation that something went down at the VMAs that we weren't privy to. It kind of makes sense, given how out of the blue Offset's DMs seemed. Well, Kenneth's video threatening Offset went viral, and wouldn't you know it, he landed himself in a world of trouble with the parole board. He got slapped with 4 months of house arrest as a result. According to the legal documents, Kenneth was recorded on video making threatening remarks towards a specific individual while in the company of someone with a criminal record. As such, the probation officer believes placement in the location monitoring program will effectively allow for closer monitoring, limit his movements, provide a sanction for his non-compliance, and hopefully encourage him to reflect upon and reevaluate his current status in the community. The document went on to say, praying that the court will order, Kenneth Petty shall participate for a period of up to 120 days in a home detention program, which may include electronic monitoring, GPS. When Kenneth bragged about being strapped, he probably didn't expect to end up with a monitor strapped to his ankle. I gotta say, he really overplayed his hand this time. Not only did he violate his parole, but he also went and boasted about it online for everyone to see. He got caught red-handed and was hit with 120 days of probation. Now that we've seen how Kenneth's actions have been making Nikki look bad, we gotta address the allegations swirling around about him supposedly keeping Nikki under his thumb by manipulating her with drugs. Blogger Ken Barbie was the first to spill this tea when he said, "You want to holler that people judge your disgusting husband because they're not used to being loved, but you know who is used to be loved exactly like you? Wendy Williams. He loved her pockets to the end, letting her do all types of substances so he could keep digging in that purse while you sit up there looking like an ass. That man is keeping you all drugged up and mixing your nose candy with horse tranquilizers and Ozempic so he can make you more stupid while taking your money and letting you look crazy." The rumors have been swirling for a couple of years now, and they have gotten stronger and stronger in recent times. I mean, take a look at this video and tell me that this video doesn't look bad.
Y'all remember this video? I seen this video, but I didn't know what was going on, so I didn't, pay no mind to it. But let me let it play.
Push. You're in pain. Then one day, it comes out a beautiful baby boy. To God be the glory. Congratulations to every mama out there. You're doing a great job. In case no one's told you that, you're doing a great job.
Rumor has it that Nikki's inner circle
That video makes me so sad when you look at it. That is so sad. That is like a red. Okay, I'm going to go back. Y'all look at this lady. Listen to what she's saying. And just, oh my God, this is awful. I didn't pay that close attention to it. But this is sad, y'all. We got to look at this video one more again. Y'all look at
Day. They're yelling, push. You're in pain. Then one day,
like she nodding off.
it comes out a beautiful baby boy.
She was not, do you know she was so high or whatever? She was like nodding off right there. That is so bad. Y'all, this is bad.
To God be the glory. Congratulations to every mama out there. You're doing a great job. In case no one's told you that, you're doing a great job.
Rumor has it that Nikki's inner circle staged an intervention for her, which finally prompted her to part ways with Kenneth for good. There are whispers that he allegedly laid hands on her and inflicted emotional pain too. This is a very crazy wild, and fans wrote, "Getting dumped by the same offender you've been defending all these years and he just landed you in multiple lawsuits is crazy. What goes around comes back around truly." It's hard for me to feel bad for Nikki, because girl, you made fun of everyone else getting online crying, now look at you, crying over Kenneth Petty. And Kenneth probably got Nikki hooked on drugs and fattened her up to make her stay with him. I feel kind of bad for her. He probably made her feel like crap and look like crap and tell her that he's the only person who could love her. It's sad. This situation is insane, but y'all let me know what you think about it in the comments, and then check out this next video.
That is so awful. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Ooh, child. That is like such a she shows more. But I did that one first. But listen, those are cry outs, and I don't know what they're going to have to do to get her away from that man, being that he is I don't even know which one of these I played just now. Let me see. It's like from two different people. No, so people show this first, and then okay, this is the other one. But it's still about Nicki Minaj, and it may have some of the same stuff because you know how we share stuff and look at stuff. But yeah, let's see if there's anything different in here.
Breakdown after her husband, Kenneth Petty, dumped her because of her raging substance addiction. This came after she posted a series of emotional videos of herself crying and announcing that she was getting a divorce. A lot of people already knew this marriage was going to end in disaster, but we all thought she would be the one filing for divorce, not the other way around. I mean, not only has Kenneth completely ruined her reputation with his criminal history, but he's also been caught cheating on her with a bunch of other women. And there are reports that allege that he's the one that introduced her to the substances that she's now hooked on. Prior to him coming into the picture, Nikki was an entirely different woman than she is now. And her addiction is only getting worse by the day. She can barely construct sentences, and her whole demeanor as a person has changed. On top of that, she recently lost a bunch of weight, which people believe is an effect of all the that she's allegedly been sniffing. Child, y'all better sit back for this one, because there's a lot to unpack here. This whole mess started a few days ago when Nikki set the internet into a frenzy by hinting at her possibility of being a single woman again. She put up this cryptic tweet that said, "Yes, I'm single." Because of how vague that tweet was, a lot of people started speculating that she was really trying to tell us that she left her man, or that this is an announcement for her next single. Things got even worse when she posted a very disturbing video of herself crying her eyes out while talking about her son. But what made this post even more suspicious is that it sounded like she was reassuring herself that she's a good mother, despite what someone in her personal life is saying. This made a lot of people wonder if she and her unemployed husband had gotten into an argument about her currently being on tour and not being able to properly give her attention to her son like what she's been doing these last few years, when she was mostly laid back at home with him all the time.
And then one day, they're yelling, "Push. You're in pain."
Because we started from the pause, I had just said the manipulation of I just said how they manipulate and make it seem like you're not good. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Oh, baby.
Then one day comes out a beautiful baby boy. To God be the glory. case no one's told you that, you're doing a great job.
Shortly after this mental breakdown, she went on to perform on stage once again and took a moment to give a sad speech about love and how people can betray you when you give your whole heart to them.
But it requires keeping secrets. And it requires loyalty. And you should never have to question that if someone loves you. One day.
Now, as I already said, people immediately started to speculate that this whole thing had to do with her marriage and that she was getting a divorce from Kenneth. The reason why people first thought of this is because there have been some reports in Blind Items over the years that hinted at him cheating on Nikki and even getting her hooked on drugs. These rumors first started when a Blind Item exposed Kenneth for bringing strippers to the house while she was in Trinidad to celebrate Carnival. The separation rumors only got worse when it was announced that she bought a new home for $19 million in LA. At the time, people thought that she was living there with Kenneth, but Media Takeout did some digging and found that the house that Kenneth was living in isn't the same as Nikki's new mansion. Apparently, he was staying in Nikki's first house, which is the house she initially bought for them when they got married. These rumors got fueled when Kenneth's ex-girlfriend also seemingly confirmed the rumors that Kenneth had been laying pipe while he was still with Nikki. Redbone posted a couple of cryptic messages to her IG stories around the same time that the news broke out about Kenneth cheating on Nikki, and she said, F love, treat people how they treated you. They always come back when you got that fire. But get this, y'all, Redbone has actually been trying to tell us about her and Kenneth's affair for years now, but nobody took her seriously. In fact, back in 2018, when Nikki announced that she was dating Kenneth, Redbone put Nikki on blast for using her fame and money to lure him into a relationship with her. She said, I have no problem with her, but she messing with my man that was living with me. How he just wake up and chase behind a rapper? I mean, I know she famous and all, and girls chase rappers all the time, but as a man, my man, I wouldn't expect that at all. Nikki defended herself, and she said that she and Kenneth were childhood sweethearts and fell in love again when they met up. There was even a crazy theory going on at the time that Redbone was a friend of Cardi's BFF star Brim, and that Nikki stole Kenneth from Redbone as an indirect shot at Cardi. The source said, Noel happens to be friends with Cardi and good friends with Cardi's BFF star Brim. Some people are speculating that Nikki just stole Noel's man as some type of indirect shot at Cardi. Anyways, Redbone has since moved on with her life, and she left Kenneth and his trifling behind for Nikki, and it looks like Nikki is already regretting ever giving him a chance, because word on the street is she is not the one ending the marriage, and it's actually him who wants a divorce. Apparently, Nikki is now a raging substance addict, and this has been affecting their marriage a lot. In fact, she recently got arrested in Amsterdam after the feds caught her transporting illegal substances into the country. It was later revealed by the Dutch police that the substance in question was just weed, but people believe that there were hard substances in there, and they just tried to cover it up by claiming it was just weed, so they didn't expose her. Around the time of her arrest, a Blind Item came out that said Azalea Banks had predicted that Nikki's raging addiction was going to get her arrested one of these days. The Blind Item read, the flowering financial institution was correct that the drug addiction of the foreign A-plus list rapper would get her arrested on this international trip. Azalea Nicki Minaj. Not only that, but just a few days ago while Nikki was in Paris for her Pink Friday 2 tour, she met up with some fans and noticed that once again, she was high on a load of different substances. She could barely get her words out and just kept pointing at the wrong people. She was extremely out of it, and at one point, she noticed she was embarrassing herself and abruptly went back to the car.
Good.
What? Bobby Dangerous.
Bobby Dangerous.
No, you. Finish the line. What's the name of my last album?
Pinky.
No, not you. Okay, good night.
Nikki there.
This whole situation is a hot mess, and if the rumors about the divorce are true, then I hope Nikki signed a prenup before getting married to that man, because we all know he ain't have a dime to his name when she got with him, but she has millions to hers, which means that without a prenup, he could possibly get half of everything she owns. As usual, people have their own thoughts about this, like this person who said, so getting dumped by the same SA offender you've been defending all these years, and he just landed you in multiple lawsuits. What goes around comes back around, honestly. Another person said, she carrying that man's weight, and over time, it can take a toll on you. He always looking mean, knowing he didn't have no motion about him. Nikki need a mature man. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Nikki getting dumped by her husband? And do y'all think her addiction has something to do with this alleged divorce? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.
Wait a minute, I want to see.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
Wait, that has nothing to do with nothing, but I want
Okay, you ready?
All
right, $118 for
Blueface's mom, Clarissa.
Okay, I'm gonna see how old that is first. But anyway, let me say this. What we have here is classic. I love you, you love me. I'm gonna set you up, you're gonna get me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take me a fee. Da 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 da. You know, it's so messed up. It's so messed up that people spend more time trying to figure out how to get your bag instead of getting their own bag. But I guess that's a new occupation now. Oh, let me see how I can run up on them. Let me see how I can get that little bit from them. I guess that's the newest occupation, y'all. Guess what? I'll get fired from that job because I ain't trying to take nobody else's money. You know what I mean? If you're not giving it to me, I hate to ask for it. If I gotta ask for it, it hurts me more than it hurt. You know what I mean? But baby, okay, that's enough for Nikki. I just wanted y'all to see that we sitting here fighting amongst each other when we still should be out there putting some different, fighting for different acts in place of, you know, ensuring that before ensuring that these people do checks on these violent SAs offenders, or these people who unalive people, and you know, stuff like that. And man, that if they are in a relationship or they do get married, that I think this my thought process. If a person is in a relationship with a previous SA offender or a previous unaliver, that person who is married to them should have to undergo counseling, well checks alone, you know, from time to time in that marriage. I know it's crazy, but I think that is a little that would help them out some, you know. I think that. But do y'all know what happened? I'm skipping off for Nikki, y'all, because I just wanted to show that, and I seen this. Y'all know I'm goofy like this. I seen this about Blueface mom expulsion Krishan Rocks for abandoning Krishan Jr. Where is Jr.? And this says this was 2 days ago. Like, I didn't know Krishan was out of jail. I guess I ain't been paying attention. Let me see. I'm gonna see if Krishan is out of jail. What happened and why? I want to know. Do y'all know if she got out of jail? I wonder. Because how did she abandon Junior? Did she set it up? Blueface mom reacts to Krishan Rock's jail sentence. Oh, shoot. Blueface mom Carlista says Krishan shouldn't be in jail. Okay, I'm going to play this one real quick. Y'all know I'm goofy. Oh no, yeah. You should- No, I be thinking stuff is happening. You see stuff, and that's what we need to look.
A month in
I mean, no one was expecting Krishan to get arrested at your son's hearing. I mean, were you shocked seeing it? I mean, did you know it was going to happen? Like, what happened?
I absolutely did not know it was going to happen. But I feel like, honestly, I feel like it was bad timing. I feel like whoever made that happen or had anything to do with it was absolutely, that wasn't the time. She had her kid and she was there supporting my son, so I don't agree with it. Even though I'm not a fan and we have our differences, I think that was a bit much.
I mean, do you wonder how she didn't know she had an active warrant, or how did she know?
I mean, I think the whole world knows she has an active warrant, but I mean, she just, when you're in love, you're gonna do what you got to do for your man. So she did what she had to do, I guess.
I know. Well, who's taking care of the baby right now?
I thought volunteer.
Where's the baby? I mean, you have to know.
I was there to make sure that the wishes that she wanted, which was her best friend Marsh to take the baby. I thought that Blue's dad should have taken the baby, but her wishes, so everybody followed her wishes, and that was for her best friend Marsh to come and pick up the baby. And she arrived just in time before we went in court, and it worked out.
I mean, wouldn't it be better than like a family member is like you taking care of the baby?
It would have definitely been better, and that's why I asked the young lady, I said, before you take the baby, can we at least go into the courtroom and ask the judge if we could talk to Blue to see what he wanted to do. If he said it was okay for her to take the baby or give the baby to me, at least, a law official would have saw that, and I would have definitely did whatever my son asked me to do.
So where does he want the baby exactly?
I'm pretty sure he probably would have wanted me to take the baby. Even though we still, not on good terms, I feel like he still would have wanted me to take the baby.
I mean, how is Blueface holding up? I mean, I'm sure he's ready to get out, right?
Yeah, this has been taxing on him. I'm sure I got to see him for the first time in a long time in the courtroom. And he looked really good. So he looked rejuvenated. So, maybe the rest did him some good. This might not turn out to be the worst thing for both of them. I mean, they'll get to clear up their names, clear up their, their images, and hopefully move forward.
I mean, how are your other grandchildren? How are you with Jaden? I mean, we haven't heard from her.
Still haven't got to see my grandkids. I call her almost every other day because that's just what I do until she gets ready. I'm just gonna continue to call, and if she never does, that will be strictly on her.
Okay, and what about Krishan? You guys
I don't reach out to her because I don't have a number for her, but I have reached out to her several times on Instagram. But after the death wish or the however she felt, which was my limit, I don't reach out anymore.
I mean, as a grandma, I mean, this must be hard for you.
It's very hard. It's very hard because I get to see my daughter's kids grow up, and it's just missing the other kids it's absolutely insane. It's not something I would do. If I'm getting into it with my mother-in-law, that has nothing to do with the kids, and it shouldn't have anything to do with the kids. Even if I ain't speaking to you, I'm gonna pull up, drop the kids off, and drive on. So
okay,
that's on her.
Yeah, I mean, since Blueface has been locked up, I mean, what's the relationship like with Blueface and Krishan? Like, how are they doing together? Are they good?
I feel like they tried to. It looked like they tried to become a couple, and it looked like she was trying to hold him down or whatever the case is. So it looked like to me, I respect it as whatever they're calling it. So.
I mean, when do we expect to see your son out of jail for good?
I thought we would find that out yesterday, but all of the commotion and then the judge, having so much, to do with the Krishan stuff, it kind of held things up, and so we won't know that until the next month or so.
Okay, I mean, do you think he's going to be different, coming out? I mean, do you think it's changed him a little bit, talking to him?
I do. I feel like he turned around and looked at me a couple times, and the look on his face was a familiar look. So I saw some remorse in his situation, and I didn't give him that look like I told you so, but I wanted to.
I mean, what's the best place to see all of this pan out? It's a lot of things going on.
We all made a pact to continue our cameras rolling, so the cameras follow all of us around at all times. So on this particular day, I did have the cameras there. So if anybody wants to see the actual truth, what happened that day. The cameras was rolling. We had 3 cameras. Security was out, and we recorded the entire footage. So you can watch the entire show on 6 Our Family Network.
Laundromats beat single family homes every time.
So what happened? This is the information for Blueface. I mean, for what's her name, Krishan. Let me put it up here real quick so we can see what's going on with her. I don't know who that lady was. She was just on there for a quick second. Written. They didn't show who she was or nothing. Okay, let me see if this is it. If it's gonna tell us what we want to know. What is this? Blueface mom reacts to Krishan's jail sentence. I wish them. I'm gonna see if I can make it read. Los Angeles Krishan remains behind bars Sunday after she was arrested. During the hearing, jail records show Rock, whose real name is Krishan Malone, was charged with a misdemeanor and sentenced on June 14th to 30 days in jail. Okay, that's one sentence. This follows the 24-year-old's June 10th arrest on a warrant out of Oklahoma, which is listed on the record as the name of the holding agency. Rock is serving her sentence in the Century Regional Detention Facility in Linwood. Rock's arrest blamed bad timing. Told the outlet it was known that Rock has a warrant. We know that. Can you please get my grandson's parents out of jail? She then addressed people who suggested she was the one who called. My son and his baby mama know dang well I wouldn't call no cops. Jail records show Blueface's real name, Jonathan, is scheduled to reappear July 29th. Sentenced earlier this year to serve nearly 7 months in jail for probation violation. Okay. So it didn't show, it only gave us the sentence so far for the follow this way for the 30-day for Los Angeles. Krishan remains behind bars Sunday after she was arrested. Last week, jail records show with a misdemeanor and sentenced June 14th to 30 days in jail. So after she does this 30 days, she will then be switched over to Oklahoma. So let's see. Krishan Rock attempt arrest prompts Blueface mom to ask Kim Kardashian for help. Are you kidding me, bruh? Are you serious? What the heck? Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. So 2 days ago, I want to see if this is an old video or not that this woman is trying to just show for clout. 2 days ago, she said that, hey, Reed 1957. Thank you, love. This is nothing bad. I don't have time for this is just showing about, it's nothing bad. Trust me, it ain't got nothing to do with the saga. This is Cardi B, somebody. What's that? Yeah, Cardi B. Or what was her name? Nicki Minaj? I don't know. Whoever it is. Hell, I don't even know at this point. But it has nothing to do with the saga. I didn't jump to Blueface, so I don't even remember. How about that? Okay. So this is Blueface's mom exposes Krishan for abandoning Krishan Jr. Where's Junior? Okay,
Rissa just went off on Krishan for being a horrible mother and abandoning her son. This came after Krishan got arrested by the feds at Blueface's court hearing, and Junior got snatched from her by CPS in the process. A lot of people have been reporting Krishan to the authorities for months now about how irresponsible she is with her son. And it looks like those reports did not fall on deaf ears, because they're finally taking action to officially take him away from her. Both Blue and Krishan are now convicted felons, which makes it it that much easier for Junior to get taken away from them for good. As it stands now, nobody really knows where Junior is, and there are a lot of speculations that he even could be missing. Now, for those of y'all who somehow missed out on all the tea, this whole mess went down a few days ago when Chrisean showed up to Blue's court hearing with her son, only for her to end up getting arrested just seconds after her arrival. TMZ did a little digging to find out what really happened, and according to some eyewitnesses who were present at the time of the arrest, 5 LAPD cops were already waiting for Chrisean when she walked in, so it appears this might have been planned ahead of time. As soon as she entered, they were on her. The eyewitnesses also told TMZ that 2 female officers searched Chrisean once they had her in handcuffs, and her baby was taken away by police officers as well. Once the full pat-down was complete, Chrisean was escorted out of the building, but it's unclear what happened to the baby. After her arrest, the police revealed the reason why they were arrested. And y'all cannot believe how ridiculous the whole story is. Apparently, Chrisean got herself caught up in some legal trouble in Oklahoma back in 2022 when she was caught with some substances on her. But just before she was set to go to court to receive her sentence, she left Oklahoma and went to LA so she could avoid jail time. The case obviously didn't go away because they busted her as soon as she stepped foot in that courtroom. What's even crazier is that she went on IG Live a few weeks back to tell her fans that she knew she had a case, but had zero plans for turning herself in.
My one thing that I've been paying off fees and getting rid of talking to certain people to help my situation out. Because, I have my son, so the old me would have just turned myself in and dealt with it through from inside to the outside of the jail. So whatever. So I don't be like, but right now I got to play cautious because, I don't plan on being in jail while my son is growing. Like, I just don't plan on that at all. So,
Ciao. Anyway, while she was getting dragged to the police car, she told paparazzi who were filming her that she actually forgot she had a warrant out for her arrest.
What happened, Christine?
Oh, they saying I got a whole nother case caught up in downtown. I don't even be downtown. It's cool. I got my people looking into it. I don't know. Where you going to prison? Is that right?
Just give me sure, what are you guys arresting her for?
A whole nother charge.
A warrant out for what?
Sorry?
A warrant for what, sir?
There's a warrant for her arrest, right?
Yeah, we played that on live.
The whole way, beautiful.
Why?
We had a whole
You're a
lot
big
of
star.
questions about that one.
I raised my son here in Las Vegas. I love seeing him raise my grandchildren. There's nothing more important to me than their success, and education is a big part of that. Sam Brown wants to make.
Oh, this is mercy.
Let me see. TNHT exclusive. Chrisean Rock locked the hell up while attending Blueface court hearing. Must have forgot she had an active warrant for her arrest. Well, we know she did not.
But we'll be like, can I just get talk to somebody because that makes sense.
And do y'all remember how I said sources that spoke to TMZ told them that the whereabouts of Junior were unknown? Well, a video just went viral that showed Blueface's dead father being given the boy to take care of just a few minutes after Chrisean's arrest. And this man sat there and said no. Mind you, he shows up in Chrisean's IG Lives pretending to be a good grandfather, but when it came time to take care of his grandchild, he refuses and even tries to argue with them. What's even crazier about this is that Blueface's mom, Carlissa, was also in the room while this foolishness was happening, and she ain't bothered to pick up the baby neither.
Hold on. Listen, you have just that clip. I have
I'm not here for all
the whole video.
I'm here to support you, right? So I'm giving orders.
Yeah,
This is mom, Carlissa.
We seen the whole shebang where the girl came in there and drugged him out. We even had speculation that the baby was fake. There wasn't no baby in the chair. It was a fake baby. So we was having a whole debate about that. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Was also in the room while this foolishness was happening, and she ain't bothered to pick up the baby neither.
Look, I'm not here for all that bullshit. I'm not here for all that bullshit. I'm here to support you, right? So I'm giving orders. I'm not gonna go.
But you was giving orders by that same girl that don't like to listen, right? So now she legitimate since she giving you orders.
Yeah. You know what I mean? All my shit don't go to the side for somebody else. She gave orders to the baby. Am I right or wrong? Thank you.
Give it the.
So you follow the orders. She will live and learn.
Who the follow any of Christian orders? Like, let's be real.
You feel me? You feel me?
Right.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to thank you. I just want to jump in and try to get some shit off of it. I don't have time to get
Thank you, Carlissa. I'm with you on that one.
The baby still has to have a certain level of stability.
Exactly.
I don't watch the baby 5% of the time. That's not getting twisted. I'm not in the fucking. I'm not the babysitter. Okay? I've been in that time where it was needed only.
Can we take a stretch that is fairness?
No, I'm thinking. So my job ain't. Goddamn it.
But that's what everybody looked at you at on the internet.
Whatever. It's about him. That's trying to make it about this baby. It's about Jonathan today. That's why you're here for all this. That's why you're here for all this. We know that. We know that. We know that. Goddamn cheek. Get out of my cheek.
That's crazy.
Yeah, want to go against somebody's will. You feel me? So ugly ass. So ugly.
The backlash that Carlissa and Blueface's dad received after this video went viral got so bad that Carlissa had to jump on IG Live to address the whole situation. She said her heart was completely broken when she saw Blue in court because he looked a hot stinking mess, and she couldn't handle seeing her son in the condition that he was in. She also debunked the rumors that she didn't want to take Junior. She claims both she, Jaden, and even Krishan's friend Marshall were all willing to take Junior in once Krishan got arrested, and that the only person who was against taking care of the boy was Blueface's dad.
When I tell y'all this is too much, baby, it's too much. I don't think none of y'all can handle none of this. Now, I just walked in here to the court. I done got kicked out. I got everything on the 6 Hot. Go subscribe to watch the whole thing. I was not present. I didn't see her leaving the handcuffs. I think that's some stuff for both the parents to be in jail right now. But most craziest shit, just see my son in court looking like old dog from Menace to Society, and it crushed me to my core. I cried. I got kicked out. I'm kicked out. Everybody's still in there. It's just, this is, when I say this too much. At this point, all the elders need to get in and try to help figure this out. This is too much. This too much for any parent. This too much for any person. Now, both the baby parents is in the jail. I did bring the video cameras because I talked to Wack, and he's, he got a good attorney, and he said it was a slam dunk. So I was, hoping to come get some Nana Boo Boo footage, some footage of, my son maybe coming home today or possibly tomorrow, whatever the case may be. So I did bring the cameras because I got a heads up, but I did not know that I was coming into this type of, it don't even make no kind of sense. It don't even make no kind of sense. I'm not finna try to bash John's daddy for not wanting to take the baby. They got me saying I said I'll take the baby. Me and Marsh locked eyes, and she said, "Don't worry, Carlissa, I got the baby." I told her, please just wait for my son to come in the courtroom with the baby and let my son tell you what he wants you to do with the baby. That's all I asked
Okay,
her to
she
do
did
tomorrow
say that. I
on the
did hear it.
Patreon for y'all to see, because I knew they was gonna go try to chop it like we didn't want the baby. Everybody that was there today, I even think at one point Jaden looked up like she would take the baby. We wasn't no type of people y'all saying, oh, this family ain't. Wasn't nobody leaving there and not taking that baby but Jonathan Daddy. Okay, that's the only person who said he wasn't no babysitter. Now everybody who know me know I would have walked out of that with my baby and treated that baby just like he was Jonathan, like he was Jonathan himself. And when she came home, I would have handed her baby back. I would have took her baby up there.
Tired of typing tons of notes during class?
Yes.
There's finally a better way. It's called Otter. Let's say I'm in class. I just hit record, and as you can see, everything I'm saying is turning into a transcript as I talk in real time.
Yeah, we gonna
Because Otter.
Visit her, I would have did whatever it takes because I know how it feels.
Now, like I said before, this isn't the first time that people have questioned Chrisean once it comes to her ability to be a good mom and take care of Junior. If y'all remember, Blueface actually called her out on being a bad mom some months ago when they got into it about Chrisean failing to send Junior to the hospital for his hernia surgery. He even went as far as accusing her of taking substances and alcohol while she was pregnant. He said, "I tried to do the right thing to keep it private, but this bee keeps going on and on. Leave me the F alone, you baby. I had a baby with a baby." Shakes my head. It's my fault too, for real. Can't cap. I tried to get that abortion, but she prayed for this. He added, "I don't care about Chrisean's feelings. My son is hurting every day and she acting like it's not a problem. You had a baby on live, but you mad about the truth being live. She's a bad mother. Yes, she is unfit. She been pushing the surgery back, missing appointments so she can do what she wants. I went to Baltimore thinking it's surgery. They talking about she missed the appointment. But all this was just the start of it, because there were a lot more instances after this.
What surgery? Wait, did I miss something? What surgery he talking about? Can I go back, y'all, to see? I missed that. I didn't know about no surgery. Was it for a surgery for the baby, but not really a surgery? But you know what I'm saying? Oh, what the heck? Somebody tell me. Oh, okay. I missed that little part. I missed hernia. I don't know. I'm sorry. I am paying attention, but I missed that little word. Okay, thank you.
That made people call CPS on Chrisean because they felt like she was being a bad mother. Like a few months ago, when she ignored Junior crying in distress because she was trying to justify the stupid tattoo she got of Blue on her face. At the time, she was getting dragged for getting a tattoo of Blueface's mugshot on her face, so she tried to defend herself by going on IG Live to tell everybody to stop telling her how to live her life. While she was on live, people could not help but notice that Chrisean Jr. was crying uncontrollably in the background. What made this even more concerning was that the cry did not sound like how most babies sound when they cry. He sounded like he was in pain and struggling to breathe. But instead of Chrisean putting the phone down like any responsible mom should do, she completely ignored him and kept defending a tattoo.
Who else? My name. Like everybody, my mother. You just mad that it's not you. What you talking about? All right, and then let's really get into the nitty gritty though. Let's really get into the nitty gritty. It's not fake. So I don't know why I keep saying it's fake. I just got it professionally done at a place where they do like some real good shit. 2, let's check the just actually.
After all these things happened, people concluded that she was not fit to be a mom and took matters into their own hands by calling CPS on her. In fact, not too long ago, the police pulled up to her house unexpectedly while she was on IG Live talking about how awful she felt about the ongoing war between Israel and Palestine. While she was talking to her fans, she heard a knock on the door, and when she opened it, it was the cops. Apparently, someone had anonymously called in to make a report about Junior.
What is going on with that country? Cause I'm like, damn, I'm watching all this damn grief on my phone. I start praying and Lord, Lord, glory, glory. I keep saying, Lord, Lord, glory, glory. Bless their heart. It's like went in straight pray mode, bro. Like I ain't seen so much death on my phone. I was like, what the bro? Why the is the cops at the door?
Huh? Why what? What's that?
It's popos at the door.
What?
I don't I'm about to get off of here. Don't say I'm here. It's that neighbor. It's that weird neighbor.
So, as y'all can see, the warning signs have been there for a while, and now that both she and Blue are locked up, Junior can easily get snatched up by CPS any moment now. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this. Like this person who said, I bet CPS get the pictures and videos of everything now, because it was too obvious something sneaky was going on. Another person said, Krishan, a real life slow by choice. It's crazy. Cared more about the baby daddy than her own child. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Junior getting taken away from Krishan? And do y'all really think she's a bad mom? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.
I've got a problem that I'm
No, I don't think that they should take her kid. I think she knew what was best. The best person in her life, she made sure that person took her baby. She knew the daddy was not stable in the head, obviously, to take the baby. She don't like the mama don't like her. Ain't no telling what the mama would have did with the baby, regardless of if it was her son's baby, just by her actions. The way she stood there and argued. The whole time she argued, she never once said, I'll take him. You know what I mean? She waited all the way till the girl got there. Yeah, the godmama has the baby. Marsh has it. Yeah, she waited all the way till Marsh got there to say, let's take him in the courtroom and see what Blue wants. Bitch, be for real. You're fake. You're fake. You sat there and made a whole scene in the courthouse and called that man daddy all kind of names, regardless if he's living in the household or not. That should have been a clear indication that if he's living there and Krishan didn't say, hey, if something ever happens to me, you take the baby. You know, that should have been hello. And you still trying to force that baby with that man. But I think she was trying to force that baby with that man so it would be easier for her to take that baby. But being the face that Marsh pulled up and got that baby, and it was Krishan's wish, ain't nothing she can go do to take that baby from Marsh. So I think that was all a little plot and ploy, because that's more than likely would have happened. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, people say, oh no, they was waiting for her. I for some can't see. Because if she only got 30 days in jail, you know what I mean? It just don't make sense, bro. That means the charges wasn't even really all that serious if they only gave her 30 days in jail for the LA crime for them to be coming to get her. You know, I don't know. I don't know. They ain't gonna sit there and say, oh yeah, she got a boyfriend that's coming to court today. We're gonna stand here. We're gonna send 5 marshals and 2 CPS peoples here to wait for her. Okay, come on, man. That shit don't make no sense. That's like a parent, bro. The cringiest things that people do nowadays is like sick. They don't care about nobody. But one last thing that I've got to show y'all, and then I'm gonna get my butt off here because I said I was not gonna be that long, but I gotta show y'all this, and you gonna be like, no, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, and you gonna be like, no, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, like for real. Hold on, let me show you. I gotta show you this. I promise you're gonna be like, no way, and I'll be like, yes way, and you're gonna be like, no way, and I'll be like, girl, yes, or boy, yes, whoever it is. Wait a minute. Girl, why this video pop up? I had to make sure y'all. Oh, I'm Kim. Okay, so let me find this real quick because I really want y'all to see this. This is part of what we said we were going to be talking about. The kids, and the story that I want to show y'all is about. I'm gonna see if I can find it. It is actually a 7-year-old. Well, he's 10 now, but he actually confessed to unaliving somebody at the age of 7. Because he was 7 at the time, the charges were basically just thrown out, y'all. Like, can't do nothing about it. Let me see. Hold on. My girl still I saved it, but I got so many in here saved. I thought it would have came up as first. So let me see if I can see it in my history. But yes, I was like, I cannot believe this. I was so sickened by it. Oh wait, did y'all hear about Kanye's situation? Oh wait. Let me show you this one as well. Hold on. Let me show you this one. It's only like 30 seconds. It's like a quick 30 seconds. But people ain't playing no more in life. Look at this. Y'all gonna be like, girl, stop playing. That's fake. I don't know if it's real or not, but it's on here. Y'all gonna be like, stop playing. Okay, so I want y'all, 9-month-old baby charged with attempted unaliving, okay? This is not in America.
A bizarre story now from Pakistan. A 9-month-old baby has been charged with attempted murder.
Little Musa Khan appeared in court along with his uncle and grandfather. They've been charged with stoning officials who came to disconnect gas supply because of unpaid bills. His grandfather has argued that Musa is barely able to hold his own milk bottle.
You see that? They was fingerprinting this baby. I'm going to go back to this so y'all can see this. They are literally fingerprinting this little 9-month-old baby.
Uncle and grandfather. They've been charged with stoning officials who came to disconnect gas supply because of unpaid bills. His grandfather has argued that Musa is barely able to hold his own milk bottle, let alone a stone. He's been released on bail and has to appear in court next week.
Know more about your world. ENCA.com.
Now, can somebody make that shit make sense to me? 9-month-old, they fingerprinting that baby. Somebody got to make that make sense, okay? Can somebody make that make sense real quick? Can y'all believe that? I'm not laughing, but it's like, well, yeah, because he's seen something. He's seen something that he had to, if he hadn't have done that, the aunt would have been not here, Queen Dree. Would Brittany say, what in the world? Melissa say, what in the hell? Dree said, wow, not 7. Like, yeah, she does. She has one in LA, which she's doing 30 days for, and then the one in Ohio, Oklahoma, somewhere. I don't know. Y'all wait, y'all want me? I'm gonna play that at one more time. Hold on. I want y'all to hear it one more time for y'all. So y'all can this is sick. It's not funny. It's really sick. It's like this is when you take stuff way too far. They disconnected some gas cords or lines or something, I believe. I was trying to understand what it is, but hold on, here it go. What we'll get. Hold on.
A bizarre story now from Pakistan. A 9-month-old baby has been charged with attempted murder.
Little Musa Khan appeared in court along with his uncle and grandfather. They've been charged with stoning officials who came to disconnect gas supply because of unpaid bills.
Oh, stoning officials who came to disconnect gas lines because of unpaid bills. Like attempting unaliving for the baby. And like, how far can he throw any rock, stone, or pebble at 9 months? He gonna fall trying to throw it because he ain't got no balance. He probably still wear walking shoes, the hard bottom flat shoes. Like, are you
His grandfather has argued.
Hold on, like this is crazy. Hold on.
Little Musa Khan appeared in court along with his uncle and grandfather. They've been charged with stoning officials who came to disconnect gas supply because of unpaid bills. His grandfather has argued that Musa is barely able to hold his own milk bottle, let alone a stone. He's been released on bail and has to appear in court next week.
Know more about your world.
Like, I know, okay, I'm hoping that competency trials come into place because it's like, what part of that, right? It's like, what part of that trial can he understand? I'm just too through at that point with that. Pakistan don't play, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, and I'm gonna say this, that's why everybody come here. That's why, oh gosh, I just can't. Y'all, we just can't. We just can't even go into that. Okay, so oh shoot, here it go right here. I found them. It's a couple different ones because it's so old. Uh, it's for real. It's like it really happened. So I'm gonna do this one. This is 1 month ago. 1 month ago. 1 month ago. Okay, so they all took place 1 month ago. I'm going to do. I'm gonna do this one first. Okay. Let me push pause. Let me play it for y'all real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna play this one first. Say you're gonna find it hard to laugh. Okay, so this one is something else, y'all. So when we say these kids don't know, baby, they don't know for real. They literally don't. They don't know. And it's, okay, here we go.
Hard to grasp. A 10-year-old boy has admitted to killing a man when he was just 7 years old.
And because of his age, he's not going to be criminally charged. Now, this case is out of Gonzales County, about an hour east of San Antonio. And on April 12th, the Gonzales County Sheriff's Office says that the principal from the Nixon Smiley Independent School District called them.
That principal said that a student threatened to assault and kill another student on a bus. And in talking to that child, the district told the sheriff's office the boy made a comment about shooting and killing a man 2 years ago.
Investigators now say that man was 32-year-old Brandon Raspberry. He was found dead here at the Lazy J RV Park in Nixon on January 18th, 2022. Raspberry had been shot in the head. After the child's alleged threat on that bus, he was taken to a child advocacy center to be interviewed. It was there that Gonzales County investigators say the boy shared information that was consistent with firsthand knowledge of the homicide of Brandon Raspberry. According to the sheriff's office, during that interview, the child said he was staying with his grandfather who lived in the same RV park. He got a 9mm gun out of his grandfather's truck, went to Raspberry's RV, saw him sleeping, and shot Brandon Raspberry in the head. He also said he fired a round into a couch in the RV and then put the gun back in his grandfather's glove box. The 10-year-old told investigators he did not know Raspberry and had no reason to be angry with him. He had only seen him walking around the RV earlier that day. Raspberry moved into that RV park 4 days before he was killed. On April 12th of this year, investigators say they found the gun used in this murder at a pawn shop in Seguin. The boy told investigators his grandfather pawned it.
Now, after that interview, the 10-year-old was brought here to San Antonio and placed on a 72-hour emergency detention for psychiatric evaluation and treatment. After that, he was booked on charges for making that threat on the school bus. But because of the boy's age at the time of the murder, he cannot be criminally prosecuted. Texas Penal Code says a child does not have criminal culpability until they reach the age of 10. So since the boy was 7 at the time of the murder, no criminal charges will be filed in this case. Now, late this afternoon, I spoke with Brandon Raspberry's father, Kenneth, about getting the news that his son's suspected killer is only a child.
I was shocked, very shocked. This wasn't the person that me, my wife, her oldest daughter, this isn't anywhere the suspect that we thought it was.
You don't want the whole world to know how sick you are.
This girl can cause a lot of problems for us.
You've gone too far. What did you do?
So I guess y'all didn't heard about not.
Okay. So since when should they not be held responsible? Melissa said the baby that was throwing the stones was with the shit. but okay, so he was the 7-year-old, so to speak, was 7 2 years prior. For 2 years they had no idea who did this, right? He was smart enough to get the weapon out of his grandfather's glove box, go do what he did, and take it back in there and shut his mouth for 2 years. And he's not, huh? He not what? I don't get it. And he got to walk around feeling wasted for 2 years. For 2 years. What else has he done? Okay, this is just another news station reporting it. You know, I like to do that because people have different stuff. Sometimes nothing different, but I like to do different news, things. It's a short clip anyway. But yeah, baby, hold on.
New details this morning in a cold case murder investigation out of Gonzales County. A 10-year-old boy has been linked to a fatal shooting that happened 2 years ago. The victim, 32-year-old Brandon O'Quinn Raspberry, was found shot to death in his RV in Nixon.
And deputies say the boy confessed during a separate investigation at a school. KENS 5's Sarah Duran following this story for us this morning. There are a lot of details here, Sarah, and they're disturbing to say the least. I mean, we're talking about a 10-year-old in this case.
Yeah, Sarah, we are talking about a 10-year-old in this case, and the details are just really bizarre and very complex. Right now, we do know that about a week ago, the child allegedly threatened to kill another student on the school bus. And when school officials asked him why, he then confessed to the murder that happened 2 years ago. And then that launched an investigation by the Gonzales County Sheriff's Office. Now, when the deputies interviewed the boy, he was able to describe in detail how he killed the victim, Brandon O'Quinn Raspberry, who is now pictured here on your screen. According to investigators, the child's grandfather lived at the same RV park as the victim. And on the day of the murder, the then 7-year-old boy got a pistol from the glove box of his grandfather's truck, then went to the victim's RV where he shot Raspberry while he was sleeping. The child told investigators he didn't know the victim and had no reason to shoot him. Now, in a release from the sheriff's office, deputies were able to locate the gun, which had been sold at some point to a pawn shop in Seguin. And that's how they were able to confirm that the weapon was used in the murder. Now, because of the severity of this crime, the boy was transported to a psychiatric hospital here in San Antonio for evaluation. But he has since been moved to a detention facility in Gonzales County on a charge relating to that school bus incident. However, he won't be charged for murder in this case, and that's due to the fact that he was 7 years old when he committed the crime. And the sheriff says kids under the age of 10 years old cannot be charged for murder under state law. And because the child is a minor, we cannot get a name or a photo of the boy. Reporting live, Sarah Duran, KENS 5.
Okay, so now, as I said, he went and he got it. The man was only there for 4 days. He had just moved in 4 days prior. He wasn't mad at him. He didn't know him. He had no reason to do it. He was just the chosen one. And you put him under a 72-hour hold and you let him go? There is definitely something wrong there. Like, what is the criteria and the qualifications of something being wrong? I don't care if you're 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, or 2, or 1. Y'all remember the video I showed you about the little boy who said he wanted his job to be unaliving people, except for his family? Hi, Purposeful. How are you? I just don't understand how a 72-hour hold was good, and then they released him to a detention center. Okay, that's understandable about the threat he made to the little boy on the bus. If he did that at 7, he held the secret for 2 years, and then he confessed, which was a deflection of the way that they have. It was a deflection of what he said to the little boy on the bus. Aren't you concerned or worried that he might actually follow through with what he said to the little boy on the bus? Purposeful, we're talking about a little boy who was 7 years old, went in his grandfather's glove box, got it N-U-G, a nug, backwards, spell it backwards, and went to some man who had just moved in the RV park 4 days prior, didn't have no altercations, no problem, didn't know him, and put it in his head and unalived him, held the secret for 2 years, never told anybody until he threatened the little boy on the bus. And when they took him to talk to him about that threat, he told him about what he did 2 years prior. So they took him into a 72-hour psychiatric hold, and then he's not being charged with that because he was only 7, and he is now in a detention holding facility, whatever you want to call it, for the threat he made to the little boy on the bus. So I'm really disturbed by that because, I mean, I would take that extremely serious, and I will be wondering what else did he do in those 2 years that he is keeping a secret as well. You know, that's my thought process. But, hey, I'd be thinking. Hey, y'all, I'm going to try to rewind this video. Okay, y'all. I'm so petty. Y'all. I'm stupid. I get on my nerves. But I'm going to share this. This is what the family, I guess the family is forgiving him. But I want y'all to see this commercial as well. I missed the commercial, and I can't, you can't rewind the commercials. I don't think I tried to just now. But I'm so dumb. I just think this is just to put in there, just a little comedy. Hold on.
And so all this will be the thing of the past. I know my life will change from now. And I'll encourage my people to come and do it.
So 3, 2, 1. Here you go. What do you think? It is very nice.
So let me tell you, I have no complaint. They really like it. And they want it. I can laugh in public. I can smile. I feel so good.
Yeah, they're not going to show it again. I want to. It's funny. It's funny the way she did it. I ain't taking no quiz, y'all. Okay, this is
in other news now.
This is the family. He's forgiven. Father of a man unalived by a child in Gonzales. Hope's Boykin something. I don't know.
Now, an RV park, now at the center of a story that's pretty hard to believe even happened. It started with a threat on a school bus and ended with investigators.
Purposeful. Don't go nowhere. I want to show you something. I want to show you about the 9-year-old boy who's who's getting charged with attempted. Okay, don't go nowhere. I want to show you this.
There's possibly solving a 2-year homicide case. And here's the thing: the suspect at the center of all of this is a 10-year-old boy. Now, this is happening in Gonzales County, which is about an hour east of San Antonio. And according to the sheriff's office, that 10-year-old that we told you about admitted that he killed a man when he was just 7. And what's unique about this case is that law enforcement says that child can't be charged for the homicide because he was too young. And as you try to wrap your head around this, earlier today, we spoke with the victim's father, who cannot believe that out of all people, a kid, a child, is the person that investigators say killed his son.
This isn't anywhere the suspect that we thought it was.
And why would Kenneth Raspberry suspect a 10-year-old kid killed his son? Investigators in Gonzales County say the boy didn't know Brandon Raspberry either. The 32-year-old was found dead at the Lazy J RV Park in Nixon back on January 18th, 2022. Investigators say at the time, the boy had been staying with his grandfather, who lived in that RV park. They say the boy told them he grabbed a 9mm gun out of his grandfather's truck, went into Raspberry's RV, saw him sleeping, and shot him in the head. The boy also told investigators he had only seen Raspberry walking around the RV park earlier that day. Today, Kenneth has so many questions.
This is a little boy. For reasons that I'm sure these counselors and case managers and all of that's going to pick that poor little boy's brain apart.
Despite dealing with the agony of losing his son in such a horrible way, Kenneth says he also feels sorry for the boy and hopes he gets help.
He needs to be prayed on. He needs to be comforted and let him know he's forgiven and he can still be saved. He's so young. He's definitely tormented by something.
We don't know the boy's identity because he's so young. Investigators connected him to Raspberry's death while they were investigating another recent case where the same boy was accused of threatening to assault and kill another student on a bus from the Nixon Smiley ISD. When leaders from the district spoke with the child, they say he made a comment about shooting and killing a man 2 years ago. So the 10-year-old was booked on charges for the threat. But as for the death of Brandon Raspberry, the boy is not going to be criminally prosecuted because he was 7 years old when the victim was killed. And in the state of Texas, a child doesn't have any criminal culpability until they're 10.
I need your help, and here's why. I'm on a mission to recover $10 million within the next 12 months to
That is crazy. What do you think about that? So, I got to show about the little T. But can you believe that? That's like the most. The you can imagine. 7 years old, because he wasn't 10 at the time. He was 7. 7. What did I just do? He was 7 when he did this, girl. 7. Okay, here go the baby. This poor baby on trial. At months, he a criminal. This finna blow your head back. Did this blow y'all head? I just had to. I was actually looking for this other one me and my mom was talking about, but I gotta get more details from her. I'll probably get them tomorrow so I could show y'all because it's something. We said we was gonna talk about the kids, so not talk about the kids, but show stuff about the kids. And this is something that's, I guess, current, unless she misunderstood it. But we gonna see. Okay, here we go. Ready? Boom.
A bizarre story now from Pakistan. A 9-month-old baby has been charged with attempted murder.
Little Musa Khan appeared in court along with his uncle and grandfather. They've been charged with stoning officials who came to disconnect gas supply because of unpaid bills. His grandfather has argued that Musa is barely able to hold his own milk bottle, let alone a stone. He's been released on bail and has to appear in court next week.
Know more about your world. ENCA.com.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Is that like the craziest thing that you have ever seen? It's in Pakistan, but Pakistan don't play about the law, do they? If they charging a 9-month-old baby. So I guess I'm thinking what happened is when the man came to cut off the thing, he was just a baby. Oh my goodness, how does he carry so much hatred in his heart to even think? No. Oh, you talking about the 7-year-old. Right. That. Right. Wait, which one? You talking about the okay, so the first one I did, the boy was 7 when he did that to the man, when he actually unalived the man. This one, the last one that I just showed was a baby in Pakistan who the father and the grandfather was throwing stones at a man who came to disconnect the gas. Oh yeah, the 7-year-old. Right. And hold on, this is what get me. The fact that he held that secret for 2 years. Like, my thought process, honestly, did he not do it and they drilled into that baby head that he did it? And he was just so angry that he threatened the other kid. I'm sure the officials did their job to try to figure out what happened, but that is like the craziest thing I've ever. Let me tell you, when I had that it's not a campaign, but the thing about stop raising monsters and start back raising children, baby. It was something for real, but people look over it for drama, current drama that be going on. So, let me tell you, they really gotta. I'm looking up something real quick. Okay, so I don't want to really say too much, but okay, so I know someone who actually goes to the prisons to speak to people who are on the Green Mile. And there are so many in there that are young. You would not believe it. Like, okay, so this one says, look at this one. Okay, so let me see. This one, that was kind of long. I'm trying to find something that's not that long for y'all. So there is so many you would not believe. I promise you would not believe. You would be like, oh my goodness. See, these are really long. Okay, so I'm gonna play this one. It's just it's a short one. It's like 9 minutes. I don't even know what this one is exactly, but it's speaking about what I'm. But there's so many young children, I mean, under 12, 15, that are doing this and are actually, man, let me tell you, you would not believe it. So anyway, I know the person that goes to the prison to talk to the people, and some of them, they have grown up, but they've been in there for a while, and that place does not help them. You know what I mean? It actually assists with them continuing to be in those monstrous ways. I'm going to say that for lack of a better word, or back of a better statement. But check this one out real quick. I just want to show y'all this. It's only like 9 minutes. It's warning. The following episode contains disturbing material pertaining to crimes committed by minors. Viewer discretion is advised, okay?
Today, you're going to react to some very unlikely murderers.
Murders?
That is
Crime. The voices are scary.
Josh Phillips was born in Jacksonville, Florida on March 17, 1984. He was born into a troubled household. His father was a drug addict, an alcoholic, and also possessed a violent temper. It
always starts with home.
Evening in 1998 when a young 80-year-old Maddie Clifton was reported missing.
Oh, she's the one in the underneath the bed, the mattress.
Philip's mother, Melissa, was cleaning her son's bedroom one evening when she noticed his waterbed seemed to be leaking. After inspecting it, she was horrified to find that underneath the bed lay the corpse of the missing child.
He just slept on
As
her.
told by Josh, the little girl had come over his place one evening.
Yeah, they're like neighbors or something, right? Like they all know each other.
They decided to play a game of batting.
No.
However, when Josh struck the ball, it ended up hitting the small girl on the head, knocking her on the floor, causing her to bleed and cry uncontrollably. In a panic and fear of what his violent father would do to him for hurting the child and having her over when he was not allowed to have any company when no one was home, he immediately dragged the small child into his house and began choking her with a telephone wire until she ceased to cry. After, he would go on to hide the body underneath his bed. Phillips was charged with first-degree murder. He was then convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Holy crap.
That was really sad.
That just ruins lives, ruins so many lives.
What was interesting about this case is that you understood how everything just got out of control.
I think he could have been scared of his dad, especially like as a young child. You actually don't know what they're gonna do, but like, I mean, I still wouldn't have done that.
In later trials, it actually came out that he may have fabricated that entire story about his dad.
Oh, in that case, that deserves to burn.
Is it fair to send a kid to prison for the rest of their lives for something that they did at 10, 12, 13 years old? I don't think so. I don't know.
That's really hard to say. If that were me, like just saying it like personally, I wouldn't want him to be out because I honestly wouldn't feel safe.
You look at their eyes and you can tell that there's like no soul. There's no life whatsoever.
What drives a child to kill another child? That's the heart-wrenching question being asked in a tiny New York village where a jury today began considering the case of a 14-year-old boy on trial for murder. His victim, a 4-year-old boy.
The only thing more shocking than the crime was the identity of the killer.
I've seen this case before.
A freckle-faced redhead named Eric Smith, who was 13 when he confessed to the killing.
I remember this kid.
Eric enticed him into a wooded area that's adjacent to McCoy Street, and once there, killed Derek Roby by means of choking him as well as trauma to his head and body.
Oh yeah, this one was really disturbing.
Oh, that poor mom.
There's like nothing there.
Fabricated that story.
So dead behind those. Oh my god.
That is awful. His poor mother. I mean, the guilt that she has to be living with right now.
that kid was so messed up, he did it younger, but it would have probably happened in his adult life.
People are probably going to ask, well, you know, it's the parents' fault. You know, like, what part did they have to play in this?
You think of kids as the innocent ones, right? And so for that to happen so brutally, it just begs to question, was there something off in him mentally at birth? And then what then does his home life look like?
When you look at a child, right, you kind of just think of innocence automatically. So it's kind of really, really crazy that they're able to like do all this stuff. And you're just like, what was going on through that kid's head? Like, what did he experience for him to have a type of drive to even physically even hurt someone, let alone kill them?
In 1994, Smith was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to the maximum term available for juvenile murderers. He is still in prison and has been denied parole 10 times since 2002, most recently in January of 2020. Do you think he should ever be granted parole?
You know, the thing, in a word, no.
Not until a psychiatric evaluation and demonstration of behavior that allows him, that shows that he can readjust to society.
This wasn't kids who got into a fight and one got so mad, hit him with a bat, and then, I mean, this was lured him away, strangled him, dropped the rock. I don't think it's safe for that person to get out of jail ever.
It makes me wonder, for kids like that, can they be saved? Can they be worked with?
On May 25th, 1968, the body of 4-year-old Martin Brown was found dead from asphyxiation in an abandoned home in a rough neighborhood of Newcastle. 2 months later, another toddler was found asphyxiated on Newcastle waste ground. This time, it was 3-year-old Brian Howe. The police knew they had a serial killer on their hands and launched a large-scale investigation that involved interviewing 1,200 children. 2 of the children interviewed were of interest to the police due to the answers they gave being suspicious. The 2 girls were 11 and 13-year-old Mary Bell and Norma Bell,
Oh my God, it was a kid.
although they shared a surname, were unrelated beyond friendship. The girls eventually broke down during interrogation and turned on each other.
They always
Both
do that.
claiming
They
the other
always
had
slip and they always blame
Charles
each other.
neck
It's so
until they had
dumb.
stopped moving. On August the 5th, 1968, both girls were put under arrest. Mary's response to this was, "That's all right by me."
Wow.
She said, that's all right.
Not guilty, whereas Mary was found guilty of killing the boys. However, due to her young age, it was impossible for her to be tried for murder in Britain,
Oh, yeah, this is
and was
different.
thus sentenced to life for manslaughter. She spent 8 years in a young offenders institute, followed by 4 years in an open prison, before being released with a new identity in 1980. Mary Bell became the first person in British history to be awarded a lifetime anonymity.
What?
This meant that she was provided with a new name and a life away from the public eye.
That was too kind.
Oh, that's crazy.
Mary Bell was born in 1957 to mentally unstable 17-year-old prostitute Betty Bell. Betty took an instant disliking to her daughter and began abusing the child from a very early age.
Oh.
There were at least several attempts on Mary's life at her mother's hands. The most
What?
vindictive murder attempt came when Betty Bell pushed her daughter from a window. Mary suffered severe head trauma during the fall and sustained brain
Oh.
damage to her prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain used in voluntary movements and decision-making.
All starts at home. All starts at home.
Oh, I kind of do feel sad about that one.
What do you think of the fact that she was granted anonymity?
That's pretty nuts. That's almost rewarding bad behavior. And I'm just like, what were you guys thinking?
Yeah, I don't really know why they deserve that.
And it could be because she was a kid when that happened. So I guess that makes sense. I just don't like it.
So you saw some pretty disturbing cases today involving heinous crimes committed by children. What do you think it is that leads kids to commit such crimes? Is it more nature? Is it more nurture?
Oh my God, that's hard to say.
I think it has to be the perfect blend of both.
Between the two, I'm thinking more nurture.
There are like really aggressive children. Like I had a family friend who like bit someone in like when they were in preschool. But then the parents nurture them to not bite people.
I mean, I think there's got to be obviously a mental disorder, because there's people who come out of abusive households that don't commit murder. So I think that it's probably medical and environmental.
You know, they're bad seeds. They're just whatever. They're just wired I mean, if you're really just if you're able to sit there and like actually contemplate that thought of taking someone's life, I mean, you're already not wired correctly. But I mean, there has to be, you know, from the very beginning, something to do with how you were raised.
In many of these cases, they said, like, you know, the father was abusive or was on drugs. The mother did horrible things. And usually that is enough in an explanation to go, oh, okay, we get it. This person is a bad seed. But you also have bad seeds that come from perfectly good, well-meaning parents. And those are harder to explain.
The new best way to make money online that nobody's talking about is something you've never heard before. It's using remote automation. So these right here are real paychecks that I've received every month for the past 2 years from just one of the businesses I've helped with copy and paste.
That's not what we do. So how do y'all feel about that? What y'all think about that? Ain't that some crazy? But I like the way that was set up, because you had people giving their different opinions. So I think that one was like really good. Oh, I think this is about that little boy. I think this is about him. But let me go back to that page. The twisted boy who then 20 children for oh my gosh. Ooh. Oh, this is the Sandy Hook case. Okay, no, that's, we already know about that. I want to say that. I like the way they have a multiple people on the panel, and then they talk about it afterwards. But anyway, I'm coming back to y'all now. Okay, so what y'all think about that? Isn't that some sick stuff? Yo, when I say there's a lot of them, like, yo, when we say the kids are our future, and that is something that we really have to take that serious, because innocent children who are actually psychopaths are unalivers. That's 30 minutes long, so I was trying to find another short one. But yeah, when I tell you this stuff is kind of something else. And then this is the crazy part. On some of them I've watched, that I've watched, the kids are like clueless or care. They don't care. Okay, look, they it's like, and okay, let me see what this one say. They'd be like, and okay. Check this one. They'd be like, and so what's your point? Yeah, I did it. Not in those exact words, but it's kind of like similar to that. So we gotta, and look at this, y'all. This is I'm just doing quick ones.
Good evening. We don't know who they are, but we know what they have done. Two boys who are just 12 years of age have been convicted of murdering a stranger in a park with a machete. Too young to be named, the pair are now the youngest convicted killers since the murder of the toddler James Bulger 30 years ago. One of them sent a message after the stabbing saying, "It is what it is," signing off with IDRC text speak for "I don't really care." But how did they get the knife and what led them to use it? Their victim, Sean Sisahai, was a teenager whose family had moved to the UK to get him medical treatment. His father urged other parents to pay attention and check what their children are doing, saying with agonizing simplicity, "Kids are dangerous now."
He is one of the youngest killers ever convicted.
A 12-year-old boy pictured with a black machete tucked into his trousers. A day later, he and another 12-year-old murdered, Sean Cesahai, who dreamed of a future in the UK after travelling here from the Caribbean for medical treatment.
I wouldn't believe that two 12-year-old boys will walk with a weapon like that and plan to do something like that.
He have his dream. He want to buy his house. He want his car. You know, he always say, "Mom, I will be shining. I will be shining."
On the night he was killed, Sean and a friend bought soft drinks at a petrol station before heading to a park. In CCTV, you can just about see them approaching a bench where they had a disagreement with the two 12-year-olds. The court was told that Sean wasn't violent towards them, but that one of the boys pulled the machete out of his trousers. Sean told his friend to run, but he was chased down and stabbed through the heart and in the back of the head and left to die while the two boys fled with the weapon. It was later found hidden under one of their beds. The boy said he'd bought it for £40 from a friend of a friend. Police also found screenshots of other knives, including a sword, on his phone.
The suspects have previously looked to buy knives on the internet, and it makes you wonder just about the lives that they've led that and put them in a position where, age 12, they're carrying that sort of knife and using that sort of violence.
As the police investigation began, one of the boys exchanged messages with a girl who'd witnessed the attack, who wrote, "Everyone's talking about it. I'm scared, man." The boy replied, "I'm not. IDRC," meaning, "I don't really care."
A 12-year kid's not supposed to be running around in the night. 12-year kid's supposed to be home doing their schoolwork.
This world is a different world. Kids are dangerous now. And if we don't pay attention to our kids, it will happen every day.
They say Sean wanted to be an engineer, another future lost to ever younger children carrying knives. Ben Chapman, News at 10.
Stacey Foster joins us now from where the trial was held in Nottingham. Stacey, will we ever know who these boys are?
Well, it's now for the judge to decide whether or not to lift the reporting restrictions that are currently preventing us from identifying the boys, as has happened in other high-profile cases involving child killers. But their age has been at the centre of the trial here. We had a very small courtroom with shorter sitting hours. The judge and the barristers involved in the case didn't wear their traditional wigs and robes so as not to intimidate the defendants, and they weren't required to sit in the dock. They sat in the well of the court with a member of their family next to them. When the verdicts were read out at just after 2 o'clock this afternoon, there was little reaction from them, but their families were both visibly upset. The judge is going to sentence them both at the end of next month.
Stacey Foster, thank you.
Wait, did she say the parents was upset? Maybe they was upset because the kids did it. We gonna take that. When I tell you, I don't want to do this. Let me see if this is the same one. Oh, this is a video before they did it. That's to him. He just sitting there minding his business. Here they go. Looking for trouble. They just walking around like it ain't nothing. This is crazy. It's like, man, this is crazy. It's like that lets you know that it's not. It's like something that's like a normal thing to do. Like, hey, it's just what we do. So that was my little something to get our minds off of fighting. There's some stuff I've shown three different types of things tonight that we can focus on besides all this crazy crap that's going on social media. We still have people that are being abused, and in the relationships being abused, manipulated, and drugged. And then we have in the same case and another case where the children are trying to be taken away from the mothers, or the mothers are seen to be a bad person, or can we judge a mother because the mother is young? But I don't know what to do there. Was Krishan set up, or was she not? Was she smart in making the decision for her best friend to take the baby? I think so, because had the father had taken it, the mother was going to take it, and who knows if the baby was going to be turned against the biological mother and the biological father. And then the child issues. So I just showed three in like this little bit of time, and that's it. If anybody got something they want to tell me before I go? If not, I will go ahead and say good night. Serenata. Until the morning, until we meet again. And I enjoyed you guys. Thank you for coming and freeing your mind for thinking about things that are more important. And until then, I will talk to you all later. Thank you. Be blessed.